So there I was, mile 14. My lungs should be screaming, my legs should be cramping, but they are not. This is not normal running, this is supernatural running. I can see Ahab's chariot ahead of me. The royal horses are at full gallop, their muscles laboring, the wheels are spinning furiously through the mud, and I am gaining on them. But let me back up, because what happened in the last hour is the most physically impossible, spiritually overwhelming thing I have ever experienced. I am going to walk you through it, every stride, every breath, from the top of Mount Carmel to the gates of Jezreel. You are about to hear details nobody has ever told you about this story. Stay with me, because at the 15-minute mark, I will reveal what I was actually thinking the moment I passed the king's chariot. Let us go back to where this all started. Picture this. I am standing at the summit of Mount Carmel. Behind me, the altar is still smoking from the fire that fell from heaven. The sacrifice is not just burned, it is vaporized. The stones are scorched, the soil is blackened. The 450 prophets of Baal are dead, executed in the Kishon Valley below. Justice has been served for their deception of Israel. Now I am alone at the top of this mountain with my servant. The sky is still clear, no sign of rain yet. But I know it is coming. I can feel it in my spirit. God promised rain, and after 3.5 years of drought, the heavens are about to open. I turn to my servant and say, "Go, look toward the sea." I get down, not just kneeling, I'm all the way down, face between my knees. Total humility, total dependence. The fire on the altar was God's power. The rain that is coming is also God's power. I am just the vessel. I am praying intensely now, travailing, interceding. God, you promised rain. Fulfill your word. Send the rain. Break this drought. Restore the land. I tell my servant, go check again. He goes to the edge, looks toward the Mediterranean Sea. Nothing. He comes back. I keep praying. Go again. He goes, returns. Nothing. Go again. Nothing. This happens 6 times. 6 times the sky is clear. 6 times no sign of rain. And after all God just did with fire from heaven, this could have been discouraging. God, you just sent fire. Why is the rain not coming? But I have learned something. His timing is perfect. Persistence in prayer is part of the process. So I tell him, go back a 7th time. Then everything changes. My servant comes running. His voice sounds different now. There is a cloud, a small cloud rising from the sea. How big? I ask. He says, about the size of a man's hand. And I know instantly, that is the sign. The rain is coming. When God begins to move, you must move with him and move fast. I jump up from my prayer position. I tell my servant, run, go find Ahab. Tell him, hitch up your chariot and go down immediately, or the rain will stop you. The God of Israel has proven himself, and now a massive rainstorm is about to hit. The road from Carmel to Jezreel is about 17 miles, downhill at first, flat for a while, then a slight climb into the city. In dry conditions, a fast chariot can make it in an hour. But in a storm, mud, slipping wheels, dangerous conditions. So my warning is simple. Move now or be trapped. My servant runs off. I stand there, feeling the wind rising. The sky is darkening rapidly. That small cloud is spreading, multiplying across the sky like spilled ink on papyrus. The smell of rain fills the air. The earth itself feels like it is holding its breath. Then I hear it, not with my ears, but deep in my spirit, clear as day. Elijah, tuck your cloak into your belt. Get ready to run. Wait, what? Run? Where? Run? Why? I look down the mountain. Ahab's chariot is being prepared. Servants are hitching up the royal horses, the fastest in Israel. Not workhorses, race horses, built for speed. And God wants me to run after them? Let me give you some context. I am not a young man. I have been in the wilderness for years, living on raven's bread and widow's meals. The spiritual battle on Carmel drained me completely. And now, God wants me to run 17 miles through a storm and beat a chariot? Impossible, unless God is involved. When God says run, you do not argue. You tuck in your cloak and you run. In our culture, a prophet's robe is long and flowing, dignified, yes, designed for running, absolutely not. So I gather the robe, pull it between my legs, and tuck it tightly into my belt, girding my loins, freeing my legs, preparing for impossible movement.
And then I look up and I see something that confirms what's about to happen. The hand of the Lord comes upon me. Let me tell you what it felt like. The hand of the Lord coming upon you is not like a physical hand touching you. It's more like, imagine being filled with a power source that's infinite. It's like your body suddenly has access to strengths that isn't yours. Every muscle feels alive, every nerve is electrified. But it's not the adrenaline. I felt adrenaline before. This is different. This is divine energy. My tiredness, gone. My exhaustion, vanished. The aches in my joints from kneeling in prayer, completely healed. I feel like I could run forever. And I hear Ahab's chariot starting to move. The crack of the whip, the thunder of hooves, the rattle of wheels on stone. He's heading down the mountain, and so am I. Ahab has his chariot. I have the hand of the Lord. This isn't just a run, it's a message. Running before a king's chariot can be seen as an act of honor, but this felt like something more. It was a statement to a king who had fallen behind that the true servant of the Lord leads the way. So I start by taking a direct route down the mountain, cutting across the terrain, leaping over rocks, dodging bushes. Every step is sure, every landing is solid. I'm descending Mount Carmel at a speed that should be reckless, but my feet know exactly where to land. There's a narrow ravine I have to cross. Normally, I'd have to climb down and back up, but I don't even break stride. I leap across it. Has to be at least 15 feet, but my steps are supernaturally guided. It's like I can see 2 steps ahead. My body knows where to go before my mind consciously decides. I'm reaching the base of Mount Carmel now. The road levels out here, and this is where the real race begins. I can see Ahab's chariot about a quarter mile ahead. The horses are at full gallop. The wheels are spinning furiously, and I am on foot. Let me tell you what goes through my mind in this moment. God, this is insane. I'm going to chase a chariot pulled by racehorses, on foot, for 17 miles. But then I remember, this isn't about me. This is about his power. This is about showing Ahab, showing Israel, showing the world that when God empowers his servants, the impossible becomes possible. So I adjust my stride for the road. Shorter, faster steps, rhythm, cadence, like a drum beat. Step, 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 step. Breathe. Step, 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 step. Breathe. I'm settling into this rhythm, and I realize I'm gaining on the chariot. The horses are fast. I'm about a mile into the chase now, and I've closed the gap, and I'm flying. My feet are barely touching the ground. Each stride is covering 8, 9, 10 feet. My arms are pumping. My core is engaged. Everything is working in perfect harmony. Mile 2, I'm 150 yards behind. I could see the chariot more clearly now. Every time my foot struck the ground, it felt like the earth pushed back with supernatural force, launching me forward. What takes others years, obedience can do in moments. Mile 3, I'm 100 yards behind. So here's what something nobody tells you about running impossible distances. It's not just physical, it's mental. Around mile 5, something happens. My body is still strong. The hand of the Lord has not lifted, but my mind starts to question. Elijah, what are you doing? This is insane. You're not a runner, you're a prophet. Maybe you should just maintain this pace. Maybe catching the chariot isn't actually the goal. And I have to rebuke those thoughts, because doubt doesn't usually come when you're weak. It comes when you're almost at breakthrough. The enemy whispers, you've done enough. This is good enough. You don't need to push further.
But God didn't say, run toward Jezreel and see how you feel. He said, run to Jezreel. The command was clear. So I start praying as I run. God, you are my strength. You are my endurance. You are my breakthrough. I can do all things through you. This chariot will be overtaken. Your power will be displayed. And as I pray, the doubt lifts. The mental fog clears. I'm running parallel to the chariot now, inches away from the wheel. I'm pulling alongside the horses now. They see me in their peripheral vision, and they freak out. They're trying to surge away from me. I just keep running, and I passed him. Mile 12 through 17 are a blur of rain and mud and power. I'm ahead of the chariot now.
Not by much, maybe 10 yards, but I'm ahead, and with every stride, I'm pulling away. Horses at full gallop, their muscles are straining. When God carries you, even kings cannot keep up, and I'm running on the hand of the Lord. Mile 12, 20 yards ahead. Mile 13, 40 yards. Mile 14, 100 yards. I can barely hear the chariot behind me anymore, just the sound of rain, my own breathing, and the thunder overhead. Mile 15, I'm approaching Jezreel now. I can see the city walls in the distance, dark stone against the gray sky. Fires burning inside. Mile 16, the road starts to climb here, just slightly, the final approach to Jezreel's gates. Normally, this would be exhausting after 16 miles, but I'm not tired. I'm checking my stride now, making sure I finish strong, because this isn't just about outrunning a chariot. This is about arriving. This is about being there first when Ahab pulls up. Mile 17, I'm at the gates. The guards see me coming. Open the gates, I shout. They scramble to comply. The massive wooden gates swing open, and I run through, into Jezreel. First I stop just inside the gates, finally stopping, finally standing still. That's when it hits me. What just happened was supernatural. There's no other explanation. 17 miles, through a rainstorm, outrunning royal horses. The hand of the Lord did this. I'm standing there, and people are starting to gather. Guards, citizens, servants, they're all staring at me. Did you outrun the king's chariot? Someone asks. I just nod. And then, a few minutes later, we hear it. The sound of hooves, the rattle of wheels. Ahab's chariot appears through the rain. The driver pulls them to a stop just inside the gates. Ahab steps out, and he looks at me, standing there, barely winded. And in that moment he knows the God of Israel is real, his power is real, and his prophets operate on a different level. I don't say anything, I just stand there, a silent testimony to God's power, because sometimes the most powerful preaching isn't words, it's demonstration. So why did God do this? Why did he make me run 17 miles through a rainstorm to beat a chariot? I've thought about this a lot. First, God wanted to show that his power doesn't just work on mountaintops. The fire that fell on Mount Carmel was spectacular, but this was sustained supernatural power over 17 miles. God doesn't just show up for big moments, he sustains his people through the long journey. Second, God was teaching me and teaching anyone who would hear this story that obedience to him leads to the impossible. When you obey God, even when it doesn't make sense, he shows up with supernatural power. Third, this was a message to Ahab. You saw the fire? That was God's judgment. Now see this prophet outrun your horses. That's God's power. You can't outrun it. You can't escape it. You need to surrender to it. This story isn't just ancient history. It's relevant to your life right now. Whatever impossible thing you're facing, whatever chariot is ahead of you that you think you can never catch, God can give you the power to overcome it. But you have to be willing to tuck in your cloak and start running. So here's my challenge to you. Stop looking at your limitations. Stop focusing on how fast the horses are. Stop calculating the impossibility of your situation. Instead, ask God to put his hand upon you. Ask him for supernatural strength. Ask him to empower you to do what you could never do on your own. And then, start running. Not in your own strength, in his. Not in your own power, in his. Not for your own glory, for his. Because when the hand of the Lord is upon you, chariots don't stand a chance. That's my story. 17 miles, one rainstorm, one impossible run, and a God who still does the impossible through ordinary people who are willing to obey. If this blessed you, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me what's your impossible run. What chariot is God calling you to chase? I'll see you in the next vlog. Now if you'll excuse me, I need to find some dry clothes. Peace.